Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing with the wood bowls and the disconnects as usual, right? Bayes says hi all. Hello, Bayes. Hello, Mary NG. C Money says howdy. Pewee29 and Ultimate Acid say hi to all. Hi, how's it going? It's going well, competition-wise. I did have to make tweaks to this one. I'm not exactly sure why this happened. Because if you saw the stream on Tuesday, I was talking about like the raid is so different. I built it exactly like I had it in the practice server. And in the practice server, it was doing 1850 per hour. But in the competition server here, it was doing like 1600 per hour. Now I did have one building place strong. I did realize that after I ended the stream. I accidentally built a stationery shop here that was supposed to be a kitchenware store, so that one was wrong for sure. But it shouldn't have affected the rate that much. But when I ended up doing tweaks after the stream ended, because I said I probably would if the rate wasn't right. In addition to fixing this, I ended up just replacing like 3 stationery shops with kitchenware stores. And that did mostly fix the rate. I got it to about 1830 per hour is the most I saw it doing last night. So yeah, it's kind of close to that, but I had to, it's been running for an hour because you know, disconnects. So I did have to do tweaks to get this to work for some weird reason. But at least I fixed it. I didn't fix it right away. I fixed it in like a couple hours after I ended the stream. But it still made sense to fix it. It wasn't that hard to do. Martin, hello. Yeah, the tweak as well. One less, like one more tree compared to practice. Strange. It's usually not that different from practice, so I don't really know what happened there. But all right. Looks like I am in 7th. Now, if I didn't tweak this at all, I would have had like 10% less stars. So that probably would have put me in 9th. So yeah, it still made sense to tweak this. It looks like I wouldn't have passed up Doofy here. I do see Pyramid's in 4th, so that means, wow, top 3 is really freaking close. There's also a lot of freaking stars. Looks like Zebor passed up O-Town though, wow. Or was it always like that? I don't remember. I know O-Town did tell me his rate, like it's super high number. So, wow. There you go. Rachel, hello. DeFi 675 comp 680 practice. Yeah, that's not like too bad of a difference. My difference was like 10%. It just seems like so much. So yeah, competition's about to end here in like a minute. 7th place, that's like my favorite ranking. Of course, I'd rather take 5th place any day, but you know, I'll take it. Lolo Cabo, crap, I might not finish. Shut up, fast forward on time. Let's see. Lolo Cabo, you are 18th and dropping, I think. 18th, so still top 25. You got passed up by Sandula here. Planet Bob. Homeboy. Oh, well, look at that. Homeboy was so close to top 10 right there. But Duduma got it. Duduma got that Town Star Playbook planner advantage. Well, they both use a planner. So they both have that advantage. Spartans, hello. Dave, hello. Hello, hello. Good morning. If it's morning for you. It is for me, at least. Usually when the competition would end, I would take a look at the upcoming competition details. Now, if you're not aware yet, there hasn't been competition details yet. which makes me believe that they don't have it ready. Now, I also did hear people speculating about what the upcoming meta could be, you know, because it's probably related to wooden bowls, but it could also be related to kitchen supplies. See, this is a kitchenware store, and the wood bowl does make sense to me, sure. They could also do like a porcelain bowl, eventually. But they could do other stuff. I mentioned this on Tuesday, I think. Like spatulas or, you know, like whisks. Other cooking supplies, tongs, frying pans made with steel or some crap. So yeah, they could do other cooking supplies for that building. I think that would make the most sense to do right now. But eventually they could use the wooden bowl for like soups, or, you know, as some people said on Discord, fruit bowl, salad bowl, that could make sense. Eventually they could put all the kitchenware accessories in a box. The simplest thing to do. Let me answer this question. Yeah, the 0 point bug. Still a thing, but they always do seem to fix it before doing payouts and posting the official leaderboard results. Wilson, hello. Hope no more mineral sand meta. It's been pretty insane with all the mineral sand metas, I'll tell you that. Like, I'm not complaining, obviously. That's just me being biased right there. They want to keep doing mineral sands, keep doing mineral sand metas. But that's unfair to a lot of other people. I get that. So yeah, they probably should chill out with those. Let's just do a table of appreciation meta instead. Just kidding, guys. Fruit bowl? Yeah, I heard somebody say fruit bowl. What was the idea on fruit bowl? That wasn't my idea. Neither was salad bowl. I did not say salad bowl or fruit bowl. I personally think it's gonna be soup, or what would make more sense is another actual kitchenware utensil. That would make the most sense. I'm extra thirsty today. I need to go get more waters too. Almost out of waters. Yeah, start drinking tap water soon. Cow post bowl? Like, oh, well, I'm gonna do my daily challenge first, and then I'll go to the practice server and check if that rate still makes sense, because I haven't changed it. Ice block meta? Like an actual ice block meta? That'd be kind of interesting, because it's been a while since I've done ice blocks. Of course, almost everybody will have the same build with the diamond water pump. Bunch of aquifers, the more aquifers you have, a bigger advantage, or rare water pumps. Crystal reindeer's a no-brainer. I'm talking about like if it actually would be an ice block meta, like everybody's forced to make it and that was your only option. Yeah, everybody would have almost the same build. I feel like those designs are pretty locked down. But what's a cow post bowl? What the heck is that? Do you think we will even have a meta to play next week? I think since probably if they haven't announced anything, it's probably because it did not get ready in time. And in that case, either we would repeat an old meta, or there might not even be an event, which I hope is not the case. Because they could very easily just repeat an old meta. recycle something. You know, do uniforms, blue steel, do something that has not been done in over a year. That really wouldn't be that hard to do. But seeing as we don't have an announcement yet, they're gonna have to make an announcement today. Actually missed one of the daily challenges this week. I'm pretty sure last week I missed one also. Wasn't on my computer that much again. But I didn't already mention it last week, which I'm pretty sure I did. I was playing this game called The Long Dark. Been pretty addicting. It's an old game too. It came out years ago. But I just recently picked it up and started playing it. It's like a survival game. So yeah, I've been playing that right now. Probably would make sense to stream it, but then I get so screwed over. Coffee meta would be nice because it's been a long ass time since we've had that. I feel like people dumped their coffee NFTs because they were never getting used. And I still have those coffee stands. Yeah, it feels like over a year since we've done those, and I also thought they were gonna come out with like some kind of pumpkin spice meta. I'm surprised they didn't. It seems so obvious. Wilson says, first time to use here Diamond Pump in competition. It boosts from 300 to 350 per hour. Yeah, the Diamond Water Pump is a huge help. Glad you got to experience that, Wilson. Now, of course, most of the time I do use it. But this time, there was no need for me to use it. While I wait here, let me check out the Townstar Playbook Planner for a second. Because I want to click on the validate button for the design competition here. There's 14 entries. Well, not 14 submissions, but yeah, let me just check this here. Random weekly design competition was for chocolate ice cream cone. Let's see what people did real quick. And let me make sure it actually validates correctly, because last time it was a little bit of an issue. Okay, good so far. Whoa. 257 per hour? Who was that? Hmm? You know who you are. The winner of the chocolate ice cream cone design competition was the one that got 257 per hour prediction rates. All the submissions were correct. There was no issues on this one. That makes sense. The last one had some issues where so if the rate doesn't match correctly, it will adjust it when I do the validation process. And I know last week was the last event I had here was the no NFT required wood bowl design. So that one uses mines, and since I recently removed the doors on the planner for the mines, I don't know if that affected the design competitions. I don't know what else it could have been. But yeah, regardless of that, right, there was no issues on this one. So that's good to see. Because I'm still thinking about what exactly caused the rates to not be an exact match last time. They were off a little bit by about 2 to 6% of a difference, so it was adjusted on some of those. Not all of them, just some of them, right? Let me pull this up too. I can't really zoom in, but congratulations to Tweez, first place on the random design competition with a 257 chocolate ice cream cone per hour, with Homeboy second and Dave on third. Let me take another look at that design, which I'm sure you'd be fine with me sharing it if you want. Just give me clarification. The Nourish Barns, of course, makes sense. You can show it if you want to. Here we go. Use up all the NFT points. How do you do that? The milk would have full passive feed from the Nourish Barns. I did notice it did not give out the Nourish coop, so you did have to make feed for the eggs. I am aware that for this competition it provided the golden egg, but the golden egg is bugged. I did not intend to fix it while this event was running. I'll fix it after, because if I would have fixed it midway, it would have been unfair. But now I know. For the one person that owns the golden egg that never even uses it, I'm pretty sure. Salt stations for salt, that makes sense. The double ocean must have been pretty annoying, huh? Considering you didn't even use it. I guess you didn't have to. Cocoa stand. That makes sense. On the little chocolate shops. Didn't even realize those were there. Passive water from the Alpha Fountain Great, which was the only water NFT, if I remember correctly. That is a good competitive setup for the windmills. That's like what a top player would do right there. Granted, we were not. Yeah, I remember now. It did not give a shade removing NFT like it usually would give Light Circus or Beacon. It did not give a Light Circus or Beacon on this one, which is interesting. Yeah, sometimes you just have to deal with that. Crystal Reindeer. I did get the badge set. I do remember the full Air Force badge set. I have it placed. That's a no-brainer. Very cool and competitive design. If you had all these NFTs and there was a chocolate ice cream cone competition, I'm sure this would do very well. Now, of course, the was there any other wheat stands? I don't remember. Or was it only the ancient Bitrue wheat stand that you used for like 4 feed mills? Seems like such an expensive thing to use for a little bit of passive wheat. Let me check the what was the competition details here. Generous is wholly 200. I was aiming for 100, but I didn't notice the salt station in the details until later. Ah, okay. I don't remember there was another wheat standard. That was literally the only one. So I think the ancient stands are like 80 NFT points to use. Mill's all over. Yeah, I kind of had to. Yeah, I guess that was the only wheat stand, huh? What are the odds? Okay. Very good design, of course. I know Tweets is trying to get a free full access via grinding the design competitions, which is completely viable. It's doable. Let me go ahead and put milk on auto sell here and then place down the rest of my NFTs. Let me answer LLS's question. Hey Dub, how do we check the price of your crypto coin? Usually the way I check is, let me open up a new page here. It's on Gala Swap, was it? Let's see, how do I get on that? Gala slash the website? Why doesn't it come up anymore on my history? Is it Gala Swap? Let me go to Gala Swap directly. Pretty sure it was Gala Swap. Yeah, it was. Let me pull this up. Actually, give me a second. Let me see if I can set it up first. So you pick TSP for one, Gala for one. Yeah, you check it every once in a while. So if you were to buy 10k TSP, right? The way I check it is how much would full access cost. That's the way I check it. So right now, full access, you know, a 10k TSP would cost about 5,700 Gala, which is about $42. So you do the math. That's what is that per token? I'm not even sure, but that's just the way I check the price of it. I just value it by a full access key cost, which right now is $42, which to me is cheap, considering this is like tradable. You could just buy it and sell it again. Cheap right now. Hopefully not cheap forever. But you know, it kind of is based on the Gala price as well. If Gala was to go up, because right now it's still doing very bad, and it'd be more expensive. Because I do remember at one point this was like $100. But to answer your question, this is how I check the price. You would go to swap.gala.com and then put Gala for one of these, TSP for the other one. And if you need the sites, somebody needs a site, let me put it on the chat. Do you need the Gala Water extension thing to use that? No, I'm pretty sure you don't. Somebody double check that for me. Do you? I can't remember. Yeah, can somebody help me answer that one? I actually cannot remember. Maybe you do. I don't know. I remember maybe logging in just with my Gala account. Greg Nelson, hello. Hi Dub, how can I join your Patreon? So the link is in the description for Patreon. And from there is Team Dub, Dub Fam, Super Dub Club memberships. I should explain what all the perks are, but regardless of whichever one you decide to join, if you decide to join, you will get full access to the Town Start Playbook Planner. It will also help support my content, so I do appreciate that very much for anybody supporting me, of course, as always. The only extra perk for, like, say, Super Dub Club is that you'll be... I share my personal competition designs with the people in Super Dub Club before the competition begins. That definitely helps some of the top players, I would imagine, but If you don't really have like too many NFTs, you're probably gonna be like, well, what am I gonna learn from that? But you know, it's there. Other than that, it is usually early access to the video. But since it does take me pretty much all weekend to make the video, early access is only really like 1 day early, if anything. And for Dup Fam, usually I will try to post some work in progress updates, but that's not always feasible to do. And other than that, it's just leaks on some upcoming things, such as like maybe ideas on planner updates. But yeah, like I said before, since we don't have details on the upcoming meta, some of you want it to be coffee apparently. And I heard some people talking about fruit bowl or salad bowl. If they do the announcement today, they really only have a couple hours before their usual updates. Oh. Looks like you can connect with MetaMask or Trust Wallet. Okay, but one of the options must be Gala Wallet then, huh? And not your actual Gala account. Maybe it is. Oh. Yeah, because if it doesn't let you use the Gala account, then I for sure use the Gala Wallet. Batal, hello, next week's meta? Yeah, that's what we're wondering, since there hasn't been an announcement for it. Since there's no announcement, I would guess either it's a repeat of an old one or there might not even be an event this week. I always try to remember what I need to place down without looking it up, but I hardly ever remember every single thing to place down. Just, I got too many NFTs. It's a mountain. Where is it? Up here? Footballs again, maybe? Very unlikely that we do the same meta back to back. That has happened before. If you guys remember, this was years ago. I think it was either salmon nigiri or sushi boats where we did that. I cannot exactly remember the meta, but it has happened before where we did the same meta back to back. Or if you played like way back then, I'm pretty sure they did that with uniforms and blue steel as well. I'm trying to remember because this was years ago. But very unlikely that we do the same meta back to back. Need the crane bots and the hunted. If for some reason there isn't an event, which I hope is not the case, obviously, I'd rather them redo an old one, any old meta, even coffee. Like some of you guys want coffee, yeah, let's just do coffee. Eggnog even, I don't know. Nah, just rather do coffee. This is something that hasn't been done in a while, right? Something they could easily do this. They could sell an old NFT, put it on sale, and just do a meta for it. Really not that difficult. Some people would buy it. But oh, what I was gonna say, yeah, if there for some reason it isn't an event, I'm gonna need you guys to like recommend me a no NFT design to do for the design competition. Just pick one. If that's the case, I'll run like a poll or something, but not right now. You know, there might still be a chance they do an announcement today. But if they don't do it in a couple of hours, I would imagine they probably won't have the update ready. Red steel with carrots? That would be orange steel. And there aren't carrots in the game yet, it seems like. Genre, I wouldn't mind doing this again. As long as we aren't making pink slips next week. Wine, I mean, I was excited to potentially do wine cases, but I mean, that didn't happen. Because we all ended up doing turkey. Lumber mills, greenhouse, or hope. I'd prefer to make baguettes. Yeah, because baguettes was one of the fastest builds to finish. So it's pretty easy. Pretty sure I already placed down all the fountains, yeah. What was the other thing? Alchemy stand? Oh, the Orb of Hope. All the not placed ones are in the guild library. That's probably fine. Yeah, that's fine. Let me go to practice server for a bit, because I really do want to double check if that rate is still correct, or they just somehow, for some reason, changed something while I was asleep or something. I don't know. Some people were joking about like well, I seen what Ivis said, right? Hide and seek meta or some crap. Was it Ivis that said that, or was it someone else? Yeah, it was Ivis. It's hide and seek week. Something has probably boosted your job to figure out what. That would be annoying, but people would figure it out anyways. There's always a chance if they ever do that, they'll boost multiple items. And one of them is like way better, but we won't realize that. Shinrat says, wine for the no NFT next week as a backup. It was the ultimate build to do for no NFT 5 years ago. You are right. Which wine specifically? Was it Cabernet or Pinot Noir or what? Yeah, so we're going back to the Wood Bowl competition for a couple minutes here. And as well, make sure this works again. I can't remember which one I did. Oh, okay. 5 years ago, huh? So 2021. So I started playing late 2021. I did not do any competitions that year. When I started playing, I did not do the competitions. I was just practicing the old school way. Nowadays, people just want to immediately go into the competitions, think they're all competitive and whatnot. And of course, since there's not a lot of players, it's pretty easy to win top 1200. I would argue that with the current player base, they probably should only make it top 600 and just have bigger rewards for the smaller ranks. But some people probably wouldn't like that, right? It might discourage some people. Because there's pros and cons to doing that. Pros is, you know, more Gala for actually winning, though it makes it harder to win, so that's the con. The bigger the leaderboard is, like top 1200, top 2000, top 5000, you do get more people playing, though as many people here say, it's probably a lot of alt accounts on the lower ranks. It's very easy to get the lower ranks as there's not a lot of players. But hey, it would just be easier to just keep the leaderboard positions the same, which is what they've done for years now. So, not really gonna suggest they change that now. Was there something I was missing from here? So I will say this one did have the super chicken. I don't think I even placed it on the competition server, but the super chicken barely makes a difference on this build. Everything else should have been the same. So, like, I didn't replace these 3 with the kitchenware store. I lent some NFTs, so I'm just making sure all the stuff that's supposed to be here is here. Looks like it. Yeah, I'll chill here for a couple minutes. Gonna see if this even works again. Back to the wood bowl competition. That build did make a lot of money though. I was like close to 3 billion in cash. I wasn't even selling red oak wood. Just curious what it could have been. Clearly I did something here that I didn't do in the competition server. We'll see. Let me wait a few minutes. Oh yeah, I see. The problem is, like, say they announce next week's meta today. I know that some people like straight up don't practice on the weekends. Maybe they'll have a chance to practice Monday. Some people would prefer practicing Wednesday or Thursday. That's why they want the the meta announcements as soon as possible. Makes sense. Production monitor seemed way off for me this competition. I don't think it seemed accurate for at least 3 hours. 3 hours? Am I missing something here? Usually it takes like maybe 30 minutes. Yeah, of course, let's hope the announcement comes today. Martin says, I was in the kitchen. Did you see what you did different in your build? No, I still don't understand why this worked at first and it didn't. And I did it in the competition. Maybe it doesn't even work anymore. I'm gonna chalk it up and say that Gala did something. Or, you know, Townstar team maybe pushed out an update after I went to sleep and I finished testing it on, when was this? Friday or Saturday? Finished testing this Friday or Saturday. Or Friday night, Saturday morning. And I assure you, I have screenshots that prove it was doing 1853 per hour. Heck, I'll show you the screenshot. I post these on Super Dub Club chat, but like this is my proof right here. I mean, I'm not joking. This was the practice build from whenever I practiced it, and it was doing 1850 wood bowl per hour, 1853 with the super chicken. I did two tests. This wasn't just a one test ordeal. I did 3 tests even. Did multiple tests. So like, how's it that it was working then and it's not working now? It's like super confused about that. Like, what the heck happened? Or did I change something or... So I'm trying to compare the rates again. It kind of seems like glass bottles is way lower now than it was before. Which is strange because that actually wasn't even the issue in the competition server. It's confusing me. I haven't changed anything. Like, this is the one that was making 1850. I'm actually not even sure it'll make that anymore. Oh, you know, it could be that it's laggier because I'm streaming, but like, that's what I said in the competition, and that wasn't actually the case. It was just a lower rate. I think maybe the workers got dumber. I don't know. What's the timer? Oh yeah, 15 seconds. Yeah, that's right. I was just double checking it. That's what the planner says as well. Actually, the planner says 16 seconds. But that's because it's rounded. And I mentioned this before, but in case you didn't know, these craft times, they're rounded down. So if your glass bottle production is 15.8 seconds, just an example, it will show 15 seconds here. It will not show 16. Townstar rounds their numbers down for the crafting here, but in reality, it will actually use the 15.8 second or whatever decimal timer that you have. You just won't really see it. But it will use the correct number, but it will not show the correct number here. It rounds it down. Hope that makes sense for you guys. I didn't really realize that until I started working on the planner, and that explained why some of the times are a second off. Because of that. The planner will also use the exact, well, as close to the exact decimal time, because it, you know, does it things in 1 hour segments. I don't think the lag affects great. I personally think it does below 20 frames per second. But if you're consistently getting 20 or more frames per second, I don't think it should affect it You might be right though. Like I don't know. I'm not saying you're wrong. You might be right. It's just like kind of what I think. Shenra also said, yeah, I don't know about the production monitor, just seemed off. I was showing enough feed for 1200 eggs, not destroying any, but I barely showed 1100 eggs. Yeah. Assuming you weren't like selling any feed too. Like why would you? I mean the numbers are going up, but like that was like a 2-hour test. Out of curiosity, I'd probably let this run even after the stream for like an hour. I just want to make sure that this works again. Doesn't look like it's going to. Looks like the rate will be lower now. Not selling any feed, yeah. This way says, what's the problem with those servers? It's getting worse every competition. With the competition servers, you mean? Yeah. I'm kind of catching up. They should drop all the useless animations to see if it gets better. It probably would, yeah, but like... Tatsuis, are you sure you want a game that doesn't look that visually appealing but works very well? Are you sure you want that? You sure you don't want nice looking buildings and nice looking animations that consume a lot of resources and potentially makes your rates off? But it looks nice, right? Looks nice. That's one thing I'm always wondering. So I've mentioned this before, right? What if Townstar was like a 2D game? Didn't look that nice, but it worked very well. You know, like take the planner, for example. You could do that with the planner, right? I could make the I could make this way more accurate. Of course, it would be even more laggier than it is now. Yeah, if I wanted to, I can make this more accurate and pretty much almost simulate what happens in Townstar. I mean, it's kind of already doing that, right? But it's not like perfectly accurate. You know, right now it probably is 1735 prediction. Maybe that was the amount of wood bowls it was supposed to make. Maybe it was wrong before. Look at that, 1735. So maybe it knows something. But yeah, I could make this even more accurate. I was gonna test it one of these days or maybe one of these weeks at some point. Like, what if I were to make a super accurate version of the prediction, but I know that it would be super laggy. Right now, prediction takes only a few seconds to run, usually only 3 or 4 seconds for me. Whenever I, for example, I have auto predictions on most of the time, which is very laggy, by the way. So it takes 3 seconds before it starts recalculating, and then it takes about 2 seconds for it to, 1 or 2 seconds for it to do the calculation. It's very fast, but if I were to make it more accurate, it would be slower, obviously, but like the predictions would probably be more spot on. Like most of the time they are pretty accurate now, but they're not always, that's not always the case. Even if I did that, your wood predictions and feed predictions and whatnot will probably still be off just because of the way Townstar does its pathing. I don't think the workers are like super smart here all the time. They take some weird ass turns. Oh, and also they go home. The planner won't account for them going home unless maybe I also include that, but that seems very difficult to do. I'm surprised more people don't play that over Townstar. Well, I mean, Townstar has like bigger rewards, that's the thing. Yeah, the dollar bills. So it would be very good to have a setting where you turn off all animations. I do agree with that. Shanrat says, I want a game that works well. If it looks like crap, I'm okay with that. Good to know. Yeah, like the TSP. I mean, the playbook's not really intended to be a game. It is a tool, a planner tool. A very nice planner tool. May not be the fastest, but that's because they have a lot of tools. Yeah, I still think like TownstarPlanner.online is faster. I don't know. Many of you have used both planners, right? So let me know. I've used both planners. I think the Townstar Planner is faster, technically placing buildings and whatnot. But whenever I try to use Townstar Planner now, knowing all the tools that the Townstar Playbook provides, I can't do my double click to select the building. I can't click one to select paved road because it's on my favorites. I can't copy and paste sections of the build. Then it takes longer. Even though TownstarPlanner.online is faster to place stuff because it's less laggy, because it doesn't have to worry about a bunch of calculations. The playbook, I have tools that allow me to do things a little bit faster. Yeah, to tweets, why do we need the +1 every time something goes into the storage? Yeah, nobody cares about that +1, you're right. They should get rid of those animations. You are absolutely right about those things. Let's see, Shanron says, I vote you abandon Townstar and make the Townstar Playbook Planner its own game and remove the stupid things Gala has added done. Anything's possible with enough money. You know, money talks. You throw money at me, or a bunch of people supporting, stuff like that is definitely possible. Though here's the thing, right? Like I was saying, planner's cool, fun tool. A couple people do the design competitions, I would assume mostly for fun, but of course there's always that incentive to try to win some TSPP, grind your way to an access key, or just sell the TSPP for a little bit of money to somebody else that wants an access key, of course. TSP, Townstar Playbook token, not TSPP. Not bad. But you know, the main incentive for the token is to get full access to the planner, which you would want that to perform better designs for the competition. So it kind of goes hand in hand with the actual Townstar competitions and not its own thing. It can be its own thing, it's just very difficult. Jenra says, is it about the rewards or the fun? I guess for a lot of people it is the rewards, yeah. The words are great, but I play more for the gameplay. There are some people that play for the gameplay, I know that. But I do believe the majority will play mostly for the rewards, and this is happening because of the amount of money they put into NFTs. That is why that's happening. Now, the only reason there really is rewards is because people put money into the NFTs. See, if there was if Townstar or a game like Townstar had a model similar to this, you could make it to where you sell NFTs or, you know, like better versions of buildings and whatnot, and then like a percentage of that goes towards rewards rather than having a fixed reward system. You would ultimately end up getting less rewards than even Townstar gives out, but it would scale proportionally with the spending. I don't know how else to explain that, honestly. But I will say the rewards for this game are very good. They're just tied to the Gala token, of course. So if Gala token's doing bad, then the token reward seems bad. How much money would you accept? Snow pesos? I don't know. I'm not even sure what the heck that is. Whenever somebody says pesos, I think Mexican pesos. Because I've used those before, but It's no pesos. Canadian dollars. I don't know, just convert it to USD. How much money? I'm not sure. Just depends on, like, you know, the more money, the more funding, the better things that can happen, right? But you know, I can't ever get enough money to like make a game like Town Star right here with all these cool ass animations. The actual gameplay is easy to do, as I was saying with the playbook planner. That can be a game, or as Shanrat was saying, right? That can be a game in itself. It's just that the planner is using all Town Star mechanics. None of this crap is really stuff I made up by myself. This is all Town Star mechanics just put into the planner tool. But this really could be its own game with its storage running every minute and whatnot. It could be. It's doable. That I can tell you for sure. Also, look at the wood rate, wood bowl rate. It definitely is going up. Like, it wasn't even doing this good in the competition server. Like, I had to do tweaks. I had to replace 3 buildings for it to work. It's weird. It might actually still work. Glass bottle rate is correct now. It's actually supposed to be that number. Actually, it's supposed to be 1900, but it's definitely was over 1850. The price difference between buying and selling now. Oh yeah, Martin. It's very complicated. Rewards ecosystem. It's hard to talk about and be clear. Exactly. Yes. I guess it will hit 1800. Oh, looks like I can't really I don't know who to blame for this. Should I blame myself? Why was it working here and it wasn't working exactly as I expected to in the competition server, huh? Maybe what some people were saying is right. Maybe the rates here are not at all the same from the competition server. I usually do not have that issue though. It's like maybe the first time that I bring it up that I remember. I don't remember bringing this up in the past couple weeks. I know I had one building wrong, but one building is not going to be the difference between 1800 and such and 1600. And also Super Chicken makes almost no difference. That's for eggs. That's not really that wasn't the issue. Eggs were not the issue in my competition build. Only other thing I could think of is maybe I was missing an ATV or something. I don't know. Martin says, so maybe soon you have good running game and Gala still F up with Town Star. Wow. I don't know. It would take time. And lots to think about, like Shanrat said. Whole ecosystem crap. Shanrat says that because Gala has made things so complicated that game doesn't work reliably. Yes, that is true, and you know, because they had like 5 or 6 different teams. There's a new team every year. You know, since we're in 2026, there probably is a new team now, right? But that seems to have been the norm. It's like a new team every year. Whether that's because the previous team did not perform well, or because of lack of what you call it? What was the word? Lack of adoption for crypto gaming. Hence why they're not really focusing on crypto gaming. They went to Godot to fix it all. They can't fix it. I don't really think going to Godot was the issue. They had like so much good stuff in mind. Like I remember what Mao was saying about like how this new version is gonna make it so much easier to, you know, like set up competitions and change the meta. That didn't end up happening, or maybe he was misled, right? Stuff like that, I would imagine, can be done. Like it should be as easy as it is for me to set up a new design competition in the Town Start Playbook Planner. I made it very easy for myself. Yeah, same thing with the validation process. To validate, you know, like I have an anti-cheat for that Town Start Playbook Planner that's insane. And it's actually pretty fast and it works pretty damn well, I would say. Of course, most of you will never even know that or see that, but like I do have that. But I lost my train of thought there, but Martin, I'm going back to trading. Too much money loss. Am I liking now? Not yet, Martin. In order for you to be liking, you have to say that you were right. No, I'm just kidding. No shade there. Well, yeah, there's no announcement in the next couple hours, so I'm going to assume they might not have an event this upcoming week, but there probably will be some sort of announcement later today, I would assume. So we shall see, but nothing yet. And this made it to 1800 per hour, so it probably does work. Yeah, it probably is going to hit the same rate. I still cannot understand why it worked here and it didn't work over there. Somebody figured out the answer, let me know, other than I know this building was wrong. But like, I cannot see anything else that was wrong. There's a lot of buildings here, so maybe I did mess up somewhere. I even rotated. Let's see the side profile here. Don't think anybody's gonna bother finding the difference now, but you know, this is a very good build, but thanks to the mineral stands. Martin was right. Nodori says, I don't understand the focus on the Gala decks. Without games or other items they are gutting, there is no use for the token. I think it is a good idea to have the decks. That's probably something they should have done 2 years ago or 3 years ago. No, they didn't even have Gala Chain like 2 or 3 years ago. What am I thinking? That's something they should have started working on immediately after Gala Chain was implemented, rather than waiting until like a couple months ago, it seems like. I guess they probably have been working on it all year last year, 2025. The decks, that is. It was hinted at, so at that point they were probably already working on it. So it's good to have that. It's just that I don't know what they're trying. They said they were trying to build up on that more, easier ways to trade and whatnot. I skimmed through the blog. I don't exactly remember what it said, but it skimmed through it. They are still gonna work on their games, but I don't think they are going to add more games since they haven't done that. It's weird though, because they are adding shrapnel still. That still is gonna be a thing, and that's migrating over to Gala Chain this month. I don't know if it's gonna be available to play next month or whatnot. I don't really care about that game. It's an extraction shooter. Besides, they already had like another extraction shooter. Nobody knows what happened to that one. I don't care too much about extraction shooters. I did play Arc Raiders for a bit. I bought the game. I haven't played in like over a month. It is like a little fun, but I'm not too big on extraction shooters. I don't really care about it that much. So we all have different tastes of games and whatnot. Like, it is fun, but I kind of found Arc Raiders annoying. That's just me. It's not a bad game by any means. It's definitely a good game. Shanrat, maybe there was a building turned off in your competition town. If that was the case, it definitely would have been more than one kitchenware store that was turned off. Because all the other rates were correct. It was just not making enough wood bowl. Could be that some buildings were rotated wrong, but like it's a big difference from 1800 per hour, 1850 per hour, really. That's what I showed you in the screenshot, to 1600-ish per hour during the competition. I was so confused, like, how is it that off? That's like that's like 4 buildings, I think. like 60 per hour. It's like 3 or 4 buildings. If it was like 1700 per hour, that makes sense to me because I forgot went into the buildings. That was a big difference. Dave says in the competition you had 5 stationary shops on left side of the haunted porch and the tavern. You're right. You are absolutely right, Dave. Thank you so much, Dave. You figured it out. Wow. Look at that. Somebody actually looked it up. Look at my planner. That's on me for not updating this. Usually when I do last final tweaks on my build, I don't do them on the planner. I do them on the actual game, and I forget to check them on the planner. Whoops. Let me check my screenshots. Dave figured it out. Shout out to Dave. Thank you so much. You at least helped me figure out that I did make a mistake there, so it's definitely on me. That's crazy. I take a look at the screenshot and I completely missed that too. Wow. Yeah, I'm double checking now. He's right. So it's 6 buildings off, really. Okay, I cannot blame Gala on this one. I blame myself. Thank you. Let me explain what happened. In the competition server, this was the original intent. It was one of the builds that I had tested, but it was right before I made that final tweak. I built 5 stationary shops right here. I was not supposed to do that. These were supposed to be kitchenware stores, because during practice, I realized that I did not have enough kitchenware stores to make all the wood bowls, which is why I replaced these 5 with kitchenware stores in practice, but I forgot to put that on the planner, so I did not do that in the competition. And usually in the competition, I would just go by the planner, but I do always take backup pictures, and I guess I wasn't paying enough attention. Now, did I get enough sleep on Tuesday? Probably not. I can't even remember anymore, but probably I didn't. And I completely oversaw that. I do know this building was wrong right after the stream ended. I'm like, whoops. I realized that one was wrong. I did not realize these were wrong. But like I said, in the competition, I ended up mostly fixing it by replacing 3 buildings. They were these 3 though. But in reality, I was probably supposed to replace 4 or 5 of these. That would have made more sense. So yeah, thank you, Dave, for at least figuring that out, because I could have gone this whole time without knowing that. So I got to pay more attention to the buildings I placed down. That's on me. Thank you. The rotation of the trees was correct, though, to Luis. In practice, wood is barely holding up. The wood rate was just about the same. Yeah, it definitely wasn't the wood rate. The wood rate is just for the eggs, by the way. So I only needed 5,550 wood for 5,550 eggs for 1,850 wood bowl. So I was already overproducing wood and eggs. That's not the issue. Red oak wood is also overproduced. That's not the issue. It was just the amount of kitchenware stores that explained that. That was exactly why that happened. Nondori says, yeah, and Dex and DeFi are good to have, but if no one wants the base token, then who cares? Yeah, true. They need more utility for their main token. Kitchen went on automatic, that I noticed. Yeah, that was a good thing. I didn't have to turn those on. But you know, once they add the spatula or the whisk, which is probably next, we will have to turn them on. So there's that. I would imagine those would require steel. Unless we're making like wood spatulas or some crap. Just like the wood bowls. That way the glue slightly behind bottles. The glue is always supposed to be behind bottles because the glue also relies on eggs. I do have enough eggs because I have less stationary shops. So like I can make 1900 glue per hour, and that's probably what was happening in the competition server. I think so. I can make 1900 super glue. I just don't need to do that because I needed more kitchenware stores for wood bowls. That's why. But yeah, it works as it's supposed to, just about. Whatever, you know, at least I fixed it that same day. It in the end, I fixed it. I got rank 7th. It would have been the rank I was probably going to get with this exact build. So you see and you adjust. If anything, just make sure that, I know not everybody can do this, but first of all, you leave the build running, which you can't because you get disconnected. I got disconnected several times. But if you can, leave the build running when you're done with the competition. Check back in like an hour or so. Check the production rates. If they make sense, cool, go offline. Obviously, make sure updates on offline is on right before you go offline. People have made that mistake before. And if not, well, either you have time to fix it or you just do not have time to fix it right then and you will fix it later. Hopefully. I know not everybody has time to fix it right away. You got places to go or sleep to catch up on. Balance in the game, I always find that troubled with. Well, that's one of the great things about this game, right? It's a puzzle. You know, you gotta figure it out. There's ways to figure it out. Sometimes it feels hopeless. I've been in that situation too. I mean, I've been playing this game for years. But with all these challenges, I realize that there's pretty much always a way to improve the build and do better. Whether that's with NFTs or without. I've done it both ways. And usually the no NFT builds, the reason I don't try to do like the very best rate possible with subgrade and everything is because I showed those builds off anyways. And my intention is not to give out the best freaking build ever. It's just to give you an idea of a good enough build to show you how it's done and encourage you to do better. Okay, got it. I'll read later. Gajo Does NFT, hello. Yes, all good. Hello, hello. This was gonna be a short, like half-hour stream because there wasn't much to talk about since the announcement's not up. I guess it ended up being an hour. But right now, I think that's probably it. I mean, if anybody else has any questions or things they want to say, just feel free to ask. I realized what I did wrong in the competition server now, so that's good. And I'll patiently wait for the announcement. Of course, I'm probably still gonna play the Long Dark a little. I have some stuff I need to do though. I need to go get some stuff. So we'll see if that doesn't take too long. I have some ideas for the planner, but I didn't do any actual updates this week. Like we were talking about a potential other utility for the TSP token. But I need to think more about that. So I need to be careful and not rush into more utility things. Because well, I can kind of tell you the idea was potentially paying TSP to purchase designs that other people made. Because I will, before I even start working on that, I need to get people's opinion on what they think of that idea. So eventually I will ask more people. But the idea would be you go search builds, there'll be a tab that says purchase or sale or something like that. And you will click on a build. And in addition to, well, it's not going to show you the design because you obviously need to pay TSP to the seller to view it. But it will show you a section that says production monitor, production rates. You will actually see the production rates submitted and the NFTs used, if any. And you'll be like, okay, those kind of match my NFTs, and that looks like a good production rate. So if the person wants to sell the design for 100 TSP, I'll pay 100 TSP. And that's how it would work. That is the idea, at least. None of that has been implemented or worked on. But it's an idea in progress. Whether anybody would sell designs, I have no idea. 100 TSP is also only like 40 cents, so it's not that much. So you just make up whatever number you want and see if somebody is willing to pay you to make a design for you. I actually know some people already do that. Some people do pay for designs from other people. But I don't think it's a very popular thing to do. The no NFT Woodbull. Oh yeah, you won that one too, huh? Sure, yeah, I'll show it off. I probably won't show it off in the future if there is a way to potentially pay TSP to view all the designs on the design competition. That is, if somebody didn't already participate in the paid entries, you know, because right now only the paid entries can see all the designs. That's the way it's set up. If you're doing the free entries in the design competitions, you do not get the perk of viewing everyone's design once it has ended. That's explained in the rules, but that's easy to miss out. Much longer than 30 minutes, yeah. That sounds like a tough way to go. As soon as one person buys it, they're gonna show all their friends. Yeah, I understand that too. That's just, oh wow. There's like almost nothing I can do about that. Yeah, that's the last thing I'll do right here. Oh, let me, this was the no NFT Wood Bowl designs. Tweets did also win this one on the grind to getting 10,000 TSP, which I'm sure will happen. It would just take time doing it this way. Maybe not as much time with the constant first place wins though. This one was pretty close too though. So here was their no NFT required design for Wood Bowl. With, you know, this is a prediction after all. I don't know how much it did in the game. I do believe it is possible to do 200 Wood Bowl per hour without NFTs. The prediction here says 229 per hour pretty much. And this is the ideal setup, so it makes sense. I'm not sure if I can zoom in more than this. I guess I kind of can. I could have zoomed in this whole time. I didn't even know that. My bad. I'm blocking some of it with my head now. But ideally, you would want a bunch of shallow mines because that is probably the bottleneck for most people. Nuclear power. Even though it would make the build more expensive, cash wasn't that much of an issue. I only used 2 nuclear powers here. They could have used more, but yeah, so you can have full passive energy for the shallow mines. And then just squeeze in as much space as you possibly can for everything else. I did notice the water facilities were close that would improve the water drum rates. Because like when I did my build, I had some of them far away, and that does make the rates slower. So that makes sense. Kitchenware stores in the middle. Couple meadows just to separate the shade casts from other buildings and the tree farms. And red oak concentrated in the top here with a bunch of meadows in the meadow, a bunch of ponds in between them and the tree farms to make sure everything has water. Insanely good design. I don't think I could even have come up with this unless I spent all weekend on it. I don't know how much time the tweet spent, but yeah. Very, very good design right here. Impressive. Definitely why it took first. And of course, some other people had impressive designs too, don't get me wrong. But it's not easy to do. And yeah, that was that. Goon Squad, hello. New era, right? New era? I gotta go with the the names that show up here. What's up, Urban? How are you doing, Dub? Doing good. But you know, we're all waiting on the upcoming competition and we don't know what it is. So yeah, that's gonna be it. Thank you all so much for hanging out here in this short 1 hour stream. I thought it was gonna be shorter. And I learned a couple of things, mistakes I made in the competition. But I ended up getting the same rank anyways. So if you see a mistake, fix it if possible, I suppose. And yeah, of course, Rachel, thank you for being here as always. Rachel says thanks for hanging out. Thank you all for hanging out. And I'll check Discord, of course, as soon as they post an announcement. Hopefully, you know, it's something that makes sense. So yeah, I will see you all later. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.